Fun with Failure.
Hi, this is Dallas of Fun with Failure. I like steampunk. We've got 5 stories today that'll probably make you laugh so hard it'll lift an airship. So tighten those cranks and spin those cogs and here we go. I'm gonna go play with some steam.
I had this prank planned for a very long time. And finally the time had come. My buddy came over to chill out on a hot Tuesday that we both had off. The plan. I had a pair of swimming shorts that I'd never used, but occasionally my best friend would use it if we spontaneously went swimming, and he didn't have anything with him. I crushed my little sister's red bath bomb into a powder, and I squished it into the secret money pocket on the side of my shorts. Fast forward about a month, and sure enough, this day arrived. He biked down to my house, and we both said, "Dang, it's hot. Pool?" So we hiked down to the public pool. The execution. He was completely unaware. He dived into a very busy public pool full of kids and parents. Enjoying the last day of summer holidays, he splashed, and surely enough, the bath bomb began to react to the water, and it seeped out this dark hell-like red from his shorts. It took him a few moments to notice, but when he did, he freaked out so bad, and a domino effect took place among the children and parents. Picture the get out of the water scene in Jaws. He was the last to crawl out of the pool, and he was pale white in the face and in shock. There was a crowd of people around him trying to help him out, thinking that he was bleeding out in some way. I had to drag him out by his feet away from everyone screaming, "He's okay! It's a prank thing!" I became "It's just a prank, bro." It makes me shudder thinking about it. This actually happened a few years back. I was getting ready for work in the morning. 1 cup of coffee in, still half asleep. I got into the shower, started washing myself, when I happened to look up and notice a fairly large spider on the ceiling. There's no way I'm going to go about my shower while an 8-legged problem is chilling above my head just a few feet. So I get out of the shower, grab some paper towels, and I'm getting ready to take that spider down. I attempt to crush it by standing in the tub and reaching upwards. However, I'm not quite tall enough to reach the ceiling. Then I have the bright idea of standing on the edges of the tub so I can gain height that I need to finish the job. In one smooth motion, I stepped up on the edge of the tub and raised my arm. Hit the spider dead on, crushing it quickly in the paper towel. And just as I was feeling victorious, I managed to lose my balance. I fell backwards off the edge of the tub, taking the shower curtain and the rod with me, flat onto my back and smacking my head on the bathroom tile. I laid there for a moment with the shower curtain around me, waiting for the pain to arrive, but by some miracle, I realized I wasn't hurt at all. So, recently I learned that my checking account had been closed for a month due to overdrawing, and my work wasn't able to send me a paycheck. I go to the bank to sort this out, set up a new account, clear the overdrawn fees, correct that whole mess. Now, what to do with the old checks and financial information from the old account? Can't just trash them. I don't have a shredder, but I do have a fireplace. Something in the primitive Neanderthal segment of my brain jumps at that. You know, that tiny, unused part of your brain that leaps up and down with hoots and joy at watching things burn. The section of the brain that takes over after too many drinks and drives you to run around naked, beating your chest and swinging a bar stool at a club. That section of your brain that wishes that life was more nasty, brutish, and short. That one. "Fire, make money paper, go bye-bye!" it screams. So with that unquestionable logic, I stuff all my old checkbooks and account information into the grill, open the flue, and light her up. Paper catches fire, then fizzles a bit. Caveman brain snarls in anger at the fact that the money paper isn't burning. "Why money paper no burn?" I tried to light it up again. Again, it just smolders. I tried a few more times before going, screw it, and closing the grill, hoping that the smoldering paper would burn out. Unfortunately, the papers were stuck in that gross smoldering part of the fire, when things just sizzle and make a lot of smoke. Smoke that wasn't going up the chimney. I realized that the smoke from the fireplace is not going up the chimney like it should. The chimney must be clogged or something. The house is now getting progressively smokier. I frantically place a wet paper towel over my mouth to try to filter out some of the smoke, grabbing baking soda and water, and I throw it on the fire. The caveman part of my brain takes over and I hit the fire with a poker. It is quickly killed by the mixture of soggy baking powder and being drug around by it. I take a deep breath. Wait, what's that sound of running water? Almost like it's flowing through the bottom of the fireplace and into the basement. Oh crap. I run downstairs and I frantically search the basement for a cascade of fireplace water. I would like to preface this by saying that I am a college student and live with 8 other people. This will be semi-important later. Sort of embarrassing seeing that it just happened 5 minutes ago. I'm browsing Reddit and come across the post Ask Reddit, asking what were the scariest creepypastas they have ever read. Okay, so obviously it's only natural that I want to read these scary stories at 1 a.m. in my dark room all by my lonesome. I come across someone who links The Smiling Man, a story posted on Let's Not Meet. And so after reading this, I'm obviously startled and sort of scared. No biggie, I'll go to Snapchat and Instagram, and I'll forget about it and eventually fall asleep. So, I'm on Instagram, everything is fine, then I go to Snapchat. I open the Snapchat of one of my friends, and she is videoing her brother. And oddly enough, I don't hear anything from the Snapchat video, so I turn it up louder. Still nothing. I go back and play the video again, and I hear this creepy high-pitched laughing coming from the corner of my room. And after reading the story on Reddit, I am absolutely freaked. I sprint out of my room as fast as I can, and out into the hallway with only my boxers on. Thanks to my dears, some of my housemates and a few girls are out there in the living room area, and get a nice view of my junk bouncing around after a frantic underwear sprint. So I go back and it turns out my phone was connected to my wireless speaker still. I had connected it earlier because I was listening to music, and the laughing was from the video of my friend. So, I've been doing some metal work in my shed this afternoon, and there isn't any heating in there, so it's pretty cold. I live in South Hampshire, it's winter here, and I'm wearing a thick, insulated, but cheap, flannel shirt, cotton pants, welding gloves, earmuffs, and a safety visor. So there I am with a zip disc on an angle grinder cutting into 50 by 50 by 5 square tubing. This cut needs to be pretty accurate, so my entire attention is acutely diverted to where the cut is going. Anyone who's used an angle grinder knows it's a pretty high energy environment. Lots of noise, sparks, and that sharp smell of ozone fills the air. What I forgot is that you have to be mindful where the stream of burning metal sparks are getting shot at. In this case, directly at the front of my shirt. The shirt was quite insulated, with a quilted plastic lining, but also cheap, fluffy, and cotton on the outside. I had no idea that it caught on fire until the smell of burning plastic finally overpowered the smell of ozone, but by this stage, half of my entire chest was up in flames. Of course, the first thing anyone does in this situation is try to pat out the fire. As I was wearing welding gloves, I was in no danger of burning my hands. My nipples, on the other hand, had no insulated layer of leather protecting them, and the first thing I did was squash the molten insulation of my shirt directly through my t-shirt onto my nipples. The sudden pain made me change tack immediately, and the adrenaline rush meant I was able to grab the shirt by the collar and rip all the buttons in one movement, which meant that I was able to get it off without suffering any more burns. But now my nipples are quite red and sore, and my t-shirt has a layer of burnt plastic where a logo was once visible.
Thank you for joining me, and thank you to those wonderful authors at Reddit. If you like those stories, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have a story you'd like to share, please send it to funwithfailure@gmail.com, and I would love to put your story in a video. Till next time, don't play with Steam unless you know how.